Okay, we're doing a review show today instead of doing our normal creature feature show. I'm a little perturbed with YouTube because they just keep claiming I have copyright issues, and I don't. I mean, it's such a nitpicking situation that I'm so frustrated doing this, showing movies that are copyrighted, not copyrighted, and they're claiming. I just got a copyright notification, not a strike, over Night of the Living Dead. I was supposedly, I guess, using a copy that someone, I think, tweaked as far as making the quality better. So then suddenly they own that non-copyrighted thing because they've tweaked it. So I'm thinking that's how they needed to remove that movie, because somebody took it, made it nicer, and suddenly they own it. And see, it doesn't say that on the things when you're downloading something for free. It doesn't say, oh, by the way. So I got kind of a notice on that. So today, we're just going to be doing a review of Ghost of Mr. Chicken, which just became, how many years ago was it? Was it 50? I just posted that not too long ago. Yeah, it was just the anniversary of it coming out.
Well, when did it come out?
1966. And
So
on
that would
January
be
20th.
60.
60 years, yeah. No.
66 plus 60.
No, not 66 plus 60.
No, if you do 66 plus 60, that's 25.
Anyway, it's the anniversary on January 20th that it come out, and as I said on my post, I actually went and seen that when it was at the movie theater in downtown Elkhart at the Elko, which is still there. And it is, if you ever have to go in there for any event, if you don't sit on the bottom floor, you have no room to put your feet, or any. It's badly designed, badly designed, so outdated. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. But that's where I seen it, and my oldest sister drove us up there. It wasn't my parents. Who knows what they were doing? And my oldest sister drove us up there. She was barely old enough to drive, and I know it was me and Lou and Ann. Ann was the one that drove, and we went to the Elko and seen that. That I still remember it to this day, and I liked it then. So needless to say that Don Knotts was the star of that movie, and he of course was on the Andy Griffith Show all those years and made his name that way, and then did movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in, of course, season 4, episode 2, called The Haunted House. That is where the premise of this...
Andy Griffith.
Yeah, Andy Griffith. That's where the premise of this movie came to be. The story is something along the lines that Andy Griffith...
So was he in Andy Griffith when he did this movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But this was in 1963 that the Haunted House movie come. 1966 is when the movie... Yeah, Andy Griffith, there were times where you noticed that Barney suddenly was gone due to his job, or he was in Mount Pilot doing this, and then suddenly he'd return. Well, usually that means you're off doing a movie. They had to write you out of a few shows so you could do your movie. Then you come back in when they need you and you're got a little spare time. That's what they did with Barney. He plays Luther Heggs in the movie. And like I said, Andy Griffith, I think, was supposedly the one that suggested to Don Knotts that he should do a movie like the Haunted House episode was, because that was a favorite of a lot of people, and he did do it. You notice too that when you watch this movie, there's a lot of people from Andy Griffith. If you watch Andy Griffith like I have, not so much as her, but I have, there's all kinds of people in this movie that were on the Andy Griffith Show as well. So it is by far my most favorite movie of Don Knotts, and it is in my top 10 of favorite movies of all time. And I do also like a couple of other movies that Barney Five did. I mean, Don Knotts, I call him Barney because we know him more as Barney. I did like The Shakiest Gun in the West. That was a good one. And I am personally, one of my favorites of his is The Love God. That is not a big movie to a lot of people because it dealt with the subject of pornography. And in that day, taking a comedy guy like Don Knotts and doing a comedic role in a movie that basically was about nudity and having girls pose in like a Playboy magazine, that was just something you, even back then, you just didn't do. You didn't mix the two. And I don't think that movie did as well as they were hoping it would do because of the subject matter. You look at it now and it's pretty cheesy, but back then, that was still a subject matter that everybody wasn't comfortable. Definitely not for the children. I mean, if you watch that movie, even today, younger people like under 10 years old today, it's not exactly what Don Knotts normally does. You know, it's not. There is innuendo a lot of times and oddness, you know, especially with Osborne Tremaine and his wife, that he always poses her in magazines. He calls her mommy all the time, and it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I like the movie.
One of my least favorite movies of his was it Mr.
Incredible
Limpet.
when
Yeah.
he's half.
I don't
most
like
of the time
the
he's a fish.
cartoon thing. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, very little of the movie is Don Knotts actually playing himself. He's playing a cartoon fish, and that movie is no good. I don't care what you say. That movie is no good. I do not like that movie at all. Yeah, that's one of the movies I.
Didn't he do several with Tim Conway?
He did, yeah, the Apple Dumpling Gang, a couple of Apple Dumpling Gangs. They're barely watchable. The comedy is really low key, and then of course in his later years he played. I don't know how many. Did I write that down? I don't even know. I think he played he did 115 episodes, way more than I thought, of Three's Company, where he was Mr. Furley. I didn't know he was in 115. I would have guessed 30. Yeah, 115 episodes. He was Mr. Furley on Three's Company, which was a very big comedy show back in the day because of Suzanne Summers. Everybody wanted to see Suzanne Summers. And then she wise guyed her way right out of that show and they put in Priscilla Barnes.
Give me more money.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so it's like, we can't replace a blonde with another blonde, can we? Yeah, you can. So, yeah, that didn't work out well. Ghost of Mr. Chicken is hour and a half. We just watched it, what, night before last?
No, yesterday.
We didn't watch it yesterday, did we?
Last night. Yes, Lano was here.
Last night she was here?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Sunday, Saturday. Yeah, I guess she was. Yeah. Yeah, we got to watch it through Amazon on like the widescreen. We own it, but we got to watch it like on the widescreen, so you were seeing more like you would see at the movie theater, the whole thing, instead of fitting it onto the TV like they do, and you chop off some of the sides and stuff. Not that there was action. It's just it throws a whole different look onto it when you get used to watching something on TV for years, and then suddenly you get to watch the movie version. And we have such a big TV that when they chop the top and the bottom a little bit, it's still big. So yeah, it was kind of nice watching it all laid out like on the movie theater. So that was kind of cool. Since we're not doing a movie, we're just going to go on to different things here. And we'll have Patty start telling you some of the facts, and I will cut her off in midstream and talk about certain people she's talking about. Go.
So, of course, we talked a little about Don Knotts, who played Luther Heggs. He started out as a ventriloquist. Did you know that?
All the biggies do. All the biggies do.
He was in the military, and he was on their GI variety show.
Remember all those shows we watched of Taylor Swift being a ventriloquist?
No. He eventually came to hate his ventriloquist dummy, which was named Danny. How original.
You hate your dummy?
He just hated doing it anymore, so he threw it overboard. He was out with the military crew performing, and he threw the ventriloquist dummy overboard.
How much that'd be
and
worth?
Never did it again.
Or were people making fun of him or something?
I don't know.
It almost sounds like it.
His father was a schizophrenic, and he was an alcoholic. So not a very nice man all the time.
And Mr. Uplifting here telling us.
Sorry. He died when Don Knotts was 13, and then I think he had 3 or 4 brothers. They were raised then by their mother. When he first joined the Andy Griffith Show, the plan was that Andy Griffith would be the comedic lead and Don Knotts would play the straight man.
Because if you see Andy Griffith on like his earlier appearances on certain shows, he's like the comedy guy.
Well, Andy Griffith said on the very second show, he said, this isn't working. We need to switch this and let him do the comedic role and me be the straight guy. And they did, and that worked.
And Andy was still funny, though. He did funny things towards Barney a lot of times where it worked out, you know.
Don Knotts was a hypochondriac. It was duly noted that everyone knew that he was. He ended up getting macular degeneration in the eyes. He eventually just became blind.
I remember seeing him in some of the real late interviews. He looked like he was wearing a weird type of super goggle sunglasses of some sort.
It was from that.
Yeah.
So.
Are you done with him?
Yeah.
Before she goes on to the next, I want to say one thing that I wanted to start off the show with saying. We're out in the living room, the far part of the living room where we used to do the show at the very beginning, because it is so cold here that the add-on room just doesn't warm up properly, and she freezes more so than even I do. So we decided to do this review show out in the living room, and that's why we're sitting where we are, not in front of the coffin. Okay, go.
And Linnell is not, or Des, as you guys know her, is not here because it's just so cold, and since we're just doing a review, we told her that we would just do it so she didn't have to get out.
It's a big football day for Honey Bun, so he has to watch football in 30 minutes. So.
All right, so then we have Jones Daly, which played Alma Parker. Control yourself.
She's fabulous. Yeah.
Calm down, sir. At 6 years old, she played the violin. She was very musical. At 6, she auditioned and was made into a junior symphony.
Okay, now when you're 6 years old and you're playing the violin, doesn't that seem like you're holding one of those bass things that you?
If I had to guess, there's different sizes of violins for children. That would only make sense.
Otherwise, it would be like
no. Her parents were missionaries in Africa.
And they got killed by a lion.
No.
No?
God, stop.
They almost got killed by a lion.
So she lived in many places because her parents were missionaries. She was in Playboy. She was Miss November of 1958.
Back when it was not totally okay for everybody to do this and be in movies.
And especially with her parents being missionaries.
Yeah, that was like big time stuff.
I kind of feel like they probably didn't like that. I would think.
That was big time stuff. And in this movie, she's got brown hair, and she looks great with brown hair, but she's usually blonde all the time. I mean, when you see her on other things.
She's naturally a blonde. I saw pictures of her as a child. She was blonde.
On the Munsters, on Batman, when she was one of the one with Shane. Yeah, the gunfighter guy. All blonde hair.
If I had to guess, in The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, they want her to be
wholesome
and smart, and
you can't be when you're blonde.
She has a job, and they didn't. A blonde, you would just think she was a bimbo.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
We all know that blondes are bimbos, and they're not very smart. Okay, that being said.
In 1966, she had a horseback riding accident and suffered a serious back injury. Because of that, she stopped doing movies and only did television because she didn't have to do any type stunts to do television.
She fell in love with Herman Munster.
She did several Perry Masons. A lot of these people were on Perry Mason.
They make jokes about that on Svengoolie. Every movie they make, everybody in that movie
Everyone's been on Perry Mason.
Everybody has.
And then we have Rita Shaw, which, how do you say her first name again? Halcyon Maxwell. She was the banker's wife.
She was one of the escaped convicts on Andy Griffith that was like the main
And her
rough girl.
voice was,
Yeah.
But she came from a family that believed in spiritualism, meaning
How
ghosts
handy.
and things. Yeah, that's why I wrote this down, because that's her character.
Yeah.
She was in an interview once and she told them she was brought up on a Ouija board.
Sitting on one? Because she's awful big, and she might have broken.
You sound like a blonde right now. Pretty stupid.
It's my hat of intelligence here.
So anyway, I just thought that was interesting because her character was that. So, and then we have Skip Homier, which played Ollie Weaver.
Which was a butthole on the show.
Yeah, he actually was a child actor. He started acting at 6, and that's what his main acting career was child actor. And he was known as Skippy Homier.
I can't say I know him from anything.
There was a long list. When he turned 18, though, he changed his name to Skip because he's mature now. And he had a hard time transitioning from being a child actor to getting adult roles. Nobody wanted to give him adult roles because they still thought of him as a child actor.
Leave it to Beaver knows how that is.
And most of the roles he got was on TV playing some type of a villain.
He was a good butthole
character.
on,
He ended up dying from spinal myelopathy. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's basically a spinal injury type thing, and it ended up killing him.
Yeah, you got to be careful of the old spine and the neck and everything like that.
The last one I have is Charles Lane, who played the attorney Whitlow.
Lawyer Whitlow.
All of his characters he ever played were considered sour, scowling, and disagreeable characters.
And you've seen him on like the Lucy show. I Love Lucy.
Yes, he was actually very good friends with Lucille Ball, and every time she needed that type of a character, she called him. And
when on the Munsters, the episode where the ladies got their hair done and got bald, he was the lawyer for those ladies. Yeah, he was in a lot of...
He said, I've made a lot of money playing jerks.
Yeah.
He was actually a founding member of the Screen Actors Guild. He was married for 70 years.
Ooh, that's going to be hard to beat.
And he died at 102. His son was visiting him. He was ill. His son was visiting him. They were talking. And his son said that he just closed his eyes and stopped breathing. And he was gone.
See, one of my goals in life was, I don't know what the record is right now. It's really high. But I wanted to be the one married the longest. We're going to be up to 48 next month. 48's the number. As you can see, this guy was married 70. It's like we got another 22 just to catch up with this guy. I think the record is like 80, 82, something like that. But it's like we're going to have to live a longer while to get that right. We're both going to have to live to 100, for sure. For sure.
I can. I'm not so sure about you.
I'm a guy, so that's strike one against me right there. I'm a
well,
guy.
And I have 3 great-grandparents that lived to be over 100.
My grandma that we always knew, she was 93, 92, 93. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine. But guys never, because our heart gives out because the women beat us down. Yeah.
I just take better care of myself than he does.
And here's another little thing that nobody cares to hear. In The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, when he's downstairs, he's a typesetter, okay? He gets things ready to get the newspaper printed. When I was in 7th grade, we actually
Yes, I remember doing that.
You had to do it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had to pull the little letters out.
They were metal?
Yep.
And you had to put them in reverse so they would print out right, and you had to...
So many people had trouble putting them in reverse.
Yes. And we had to learn and we had to print something out and prove that it was legible, and it was like, this was such nonsense. This is what we went to school for in 7th grade, to learn typesetting. Like, we were going to do this for a job,
Well,
It's
somebody
insane.
did.
Typesetting went out quite some time ago. I mean, talk about Yeah, not moving along with the times. What a mess. Anyway,
All right, I'm done.
Let me show you one of my prized possessions. You're gonna say that is prized possession. They're all one and the same. When it comes to food packaging collection, this is one big rarity that when I do post this picture, and I have posted this picture like on what's that picture? I always say Pictionary.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Online, this is as big as Facebook, but you just put pictures on
Etsy?
it.
No.
No, you just put pictures
I
on
have
it.
no
Nothing
idea.
more. Okay,
Instagram?
anyway. Pictures. It starts with picture something.
Instagram is
Pinterest.
Okay.
Pinterest.
I was going to say Instagram is all pictures.
It's just nothing but pictures. Anyway, yeah, people have remarked, wow, where did you get these? Well, I saved them from years and years ago. You can hold up one, I can hold up the other. They're in my folder, and these are Lunchable covers, okay? 4 of them. No one on Earth has these, okay? Earth. I'm not saying another planet don't have them, but no one on Earth has these. If you can find me someone else that has these, I'll eat my hat because no one has these. These are a rarity.
S'mores dippers, and these are both dirt cakes.
Right, and you know,
I don't even remember these.
It's got the haunted house. It's got the Dracula. That's got the mummy, a spider webby looking orange, you know, type thing. But these are the covers off of those trays that you have with there's usually a frosting dipping sauce, and there's either some type of cookie type or cracker type thing, depending on what it is, to put the frosting on, and there's something in the middle.
These are gummy worms.
Okay, those are gummy worms, but ultra rare, ultra rare.
I was looking to see if I could see a date, but I don't.
I don't see a date. It was probably on the little plastic container that held the food underneath. Offhand, if I had to guess, they're probably at least 15 years old, if not more. The whole point is, nobody saved these. Nobody. I save food packaging that especially have to do with Halloween, and I can guarantee you, nobody owns these. Nobody. Because nobody saved these. This is garbage. You peel it off, you throw it in the trash. It's garbage. That's why it's collectible, because nobody saved it. When you make something to collect, it's not worth collecting. That is the rule of thumb. If you make it to collect, people are collecting it, and then it's not as valuable. When you have something that is considered garbage and you save it, then it's collectible because nobody has it. Now, is this worth a ton of money? It's not about being worth a ton of money. It's about the fact that nobody has these. Nobody. And that's what I like saying. I like saying that because it's like, this might be garbage to most people, but nobody's got them. Nobody. So, yeah, that's one of my more prized possessions as far as food package collection. Really odd. Really, really odd. And speaking of that, we'll go on to something else here. I want to check the camera. I shut off the camera and turned it back on again. I want to talk briefly now about another thing I've collected over the years. I got this. This is Patty's hand when she's, you know.
When she's what?
Pretending like she can cook. She puts her hand in here, and it's like her hand actually turns green and monstery because it's like she's too close to the cooking supplies and stuff like that. She starts to change into something else because she doesn't like to cook so much. It's like she starts to turn into a monster. So yeah, this is all my Tombstone collectible stuff. I've got a Tombstone oven mitt, Tombstone paper plates, orange of course because it's Halloween, the official pizza of Halloween in the package. Same thing with the napkins, orange, and in the package, never been opened. I don't know how old these are, but I've collected these.
Where did you even get those?
I got these off of eBay years ago. A lot of coupons. Yeah, big coupons. I got probably like 25, 30 in here. These are actually off the counter. I got these off the counter. See, Dar was probably like 8 or 9, so they're 10 plus years old at least. I got these off the counter at Spirit Halloween. They had these at Spirit Halloween over there at the corner of
Yeah, these
Grape
people
and
aren't gonna know.
Grape
so.
and Edison, and I grabbed a whole thing of them, and I kept them. You know, we used a couple because we bought Tombstone pieces and stuff. But yeah, these are Halloween Tombstone coupons to save $1 if you buy any 2. And speaking of buying 2, I did. Okay, this one I don't believe I collected. Okay, this is a Tombstone one with the Addams Family on it. I take that back. I think I did collect it, but
Where do you think you got it if you didn't?
there's a couple on here that are old that I have that I purchased off of eBay.
Oh.
Okay. Now these are nothing. These are inside. These what this is in is a plastic cover that you put your albums in, and then you slide it into the record album into its holder.
Sleeve.
You protect it. That's what these are really for. But these are ideal for the covers off of the top of Tombstone Pizza. Now I've saved all these for all the years that they were doing something to do with Halloween. Like this one is a Dracula, and depending on what flavor of the pizza. Okay, this is a Supreme with Halloween pumpkin on there, but it depends on which ones you were buying and what year they were doing what on. Okay, the monsters, a lot of Addams Family. I can't even hold these with my fingers being in a. Yeah, just different monsters and stuff like that. And then there was years where they did. I'm trying not to make this too boring, but they did Hotel Transylvania. Okay, so that they did that at Halloween time. So I have the covers off of those. All these pieces we actually bought. Another different rendition of Addams Family. And depending on what pizza you got, what's the character that was on the front of the pizza, you know? So yeah, depending on what you got there. And then they also went back to more of the original monstery looking things here with Frankenstein and Witch. And yeah, just depending. Yeah,
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'd say all the pizzas and all these that I've got, we ate all these pizzas, okay? We ate them. And I saved them for years, cleaned them up and saved them for years. A lot of Addams Family ones, yeah. And nobody has the collection I have of these. This here was a window sticker at the top corner of a door at Walmart.
On the freezer door.
Yeah, at the freezer door
I remember
of Walmart.
You thinking that.
And Deza peeled it off for me, and we stole this. We stole this off the door of Walmart because it would have ended up in the trash. It would have ended up in the trash. I got to slide that back in there. But it would have ended up in the trash, and Deza peeled that off for me, and we shoplifted that out of Walmart. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it. Here are different printouts of the Addams Family that you can use to carve pumpkins with. It's got all the characters of the Addams Family. That's Wednesday, of course. And then, I don't know why this is in here, but it has to do with pumpkin carving. I also have the same type thing, but with monster cereal things. It has nothing to do with, I just put it in here because it is a pumpkin carving template, okay? It has nothing to do with anything else. But yeah, these are the vinyl disc protectors. But that is my Tombstone Pizza collection. And we eat Tombstone Pizza usually at least once a week, but not always. Sometimes we eat Red Baron. But we do eat Tombstone Pizza a lot, and that is my collection. I think it is the biggest Tombstone Pizza. Now somebody might have more items, like hats and shirts and, you know, things like that of Tombstone than I do. But as far as covers and stuff go, I've got a huge collection of covers and stuff. Probably one of the biggest collections there are. I do have. There was a couple. We had like wads of them at a time that we were showing you. I had a couple other ones that I had bought off of eBay that I did not collect because they were older and I had to pay a little bit more money, but I wanted them for the collection. So that was my Tombstone Pizza thing there. Okay, so back to the movie. When you watch the movie, at the very end, the little organ, little odd looking organ that you see play
It's like a
hauntedly at the
tabletop.
end. Yeah, it's a real weird looking little organ type thing that plays the spooky music as they're getting ready to show the credits on Ghost of Mr. Chicken. That type of organ I'd never seen before or any other time other than in that movie. I thought that was the weirdest organ thing I'd ever seen. When we went to Cedar Point years ago, we always took Dar at Halloween time to Cedar Point. They had a young person's haunted house walkthrough. It was more tame for the younger people that Dar walked through more than one time. And there was an organ in there just like that, which I mean, it's like, I want that organ so bad because that was the Ghost of Mr. Chicken organ. It wasn't the one upstairs with the blood. It was the other weird one. And I'd never seen one like that ever. And there it was in that haunted house. And it's like, oh my God. Yeah, I wanted that so bad. But of course, who knows where that ended up or where it came from to begin with. But yeah. But you played a lot of organs over the years, haven't you?
Not really.
You're supposed to say yes, indeed, because I am a keyboardist.
Yes, indeed, because I'm a keyboardist.
I don't remember you really needing to mess with the organ at church too many times. I've seen you at it.
Well, remember when we used to go to OCL, I played the organ before church started. Every Sunday.
I don't remember that at all.
Yep.
Where was I at?
I don't know.
Flirting with all the girls, I'm guessing. Anyway, no, I don't remember you playing the organ.
Sure did.
Yeah. Organs now you can't give them away, literally. If you go on Facebook Marketplace.
Because you could get an electric piano that you can make it sound like an organ.
She has,
so why do you need
an electric
organ?
piano that can make any kind of sounds you want it to make. And it blows it away, and it's much smaller, much easier to handle. And it's not a big eyesore like those big monster Wurlitzers were that used to have all them toggle switches all over the front and everything like that.
Nothing.
Yeah, most cases when you would flip a lot of things, you couldn't tell anything even happened. It was more show than go. But she's played organ a lot. Back in my day, I played organ when I was under 10 years old. We had an organ about this big, and I don't know how many keys it had. I played all the time. I was an organ prodigy. I was like who's the blind guy? Ray Charles?
Yes.
Ray
I thought
Charles?
you were going to say Liberace.
Does Stevie Wonder play the piano, or does he just?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like that, and I could play the organ and stuff. Now I can't.
You are such a liar.
I didn't move my head like that, but But I always liked pipe organs anyway, and the organ that was in the Ghost of Mr. Chicken, it's a pipe organ. We were talking about the fact that Kelsey was supposedly underneath the organ in the back, making the organ play with a tuning keyboard.
I've never even heard of it.
I don't know what a tuning keyboard is for an organ, but evidently...
Did you look it up?
No,
you
I did not.
Have.
It seems like something like a tuner would bring and use to tune your organ if there was a way to plug it in. But I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me. But the first organ was supposedly, they think, in the 10th century, and it had 400 pipes. Yeah, that's a lot of pipes. Which is weird because there's not 400 keys.
No.
There's not 400, it's like, why do you need 400 pipes? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's supposedly that case in there, but yeah. Okay, we're not doing that. Oh, yeah, I did want to ask you a couple things. Yeah, we're going to talk briefly about tombstones here in a second before we wrap the show up here. I'm getting my cards mixed up. This wasn't the way it was supposed to go, but Patty, of course, works at the cemetery, and I was asking her about if she knew, her cemetery does the flat
markers.
Yeah, flat markers, because heaven knows when you die, we don't want to inconvenience the lawnmowers with your death. So we
There's
make
just
everything.
more risk of damage to them.
You have to go around grave markers that stick up, okay? And that would slow down the mowing process. We get it, but this is death here we're talking about. And all we're thinking about is death. How convenient can I make it for a lawnmower to go through here? That's all I'm worried about. Being in this ground for eternity, can they mow quickly? That's all I'm worried about. I'm not real hipped up on cemeteries that
You don't want your marker damaged.
I don't want my marker to be flat. I want it to be big. If I could have a marker as big as this house, I would say I would need it the next size up. Yeah, I wouldn't, it's like, I don't want something that's like, make sure it's flat and little so nobody can notice he's dead, okay? We're going to keep this a secret.
Nobody's ever going to visit your grave anyway.
No, probably not. But imagine if they would, they couldn't find it. Yeah, so I don't know you don't have anything to do with the costs of that. You don't sell them through you. You refer them to other people, or do you?
No, we sell them.
And what's the average price?
The cost could be anywhere from $7,000 up to $20,000.
Wait a minute, you're talking about them little stinky ones out there are $7,000?
You have bronze on granite because we require the granite. If you don't, the bronze is what the wording and everything is on, and then it has to go on a piece of granite in order to be put in the ground. Years ago, they did not require the granite, and the bronze would actually sink into the ground over time. So several years ago, they changed it and required that the bronze be put on granite because the granite does not sink into the ground. It does a little bit, but not like... there have been markers that have completely just sunk all the way into the ground and grown over them.
And we all know that over the years, these graves get so old, nobody is alive that even has a clue who these people are.
Right.
And it's going to be like that for us as well. And it goes like that with pictures, too. We talk about that a lot of time with the pictures we have. I have so many pictures in that closet right in front of me in a container that was given to me through my mom, that were given to her through her mom. I have no idea who these people are. No idea at all. I don't even know why I've kept them here. I don't know who these people are. My mom would have to tell me. And some of them are written on, but most of them aren't. And even the ones that are written on, I still don't know what a lot of these people are. So it's like pictures and films like that, they, after a while, what means so much to people ends up being garbage.
That's why I tell people, if you have the ashes of a loved one, put them in the ground. Because there's going to come a time where somebody's going to end up with those ashes and have no idea who that person is. They're either going to just throw them outside, which is illegal, or they're going to throw them in the trash and your loved one's going to end up in a landfill. Bury them.
I don't know.
I get keeping them for a while. If you want, put them in the ground.
I think they're going to want to keep my thing because my thing that I'm going to be in, when you open the lid, it's going to play music. I'm going to play some spooky sounding music. So people will say, "Oh, we can put some candy in there or something like that. Let's get rid of. There's a lot of ashes in here. Dump them out, and we'll keep. And in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter if you're in a landfill buried or in the ground buried? It's not good either way. You don't want to be buried either way. So not good. So we got one more thing to show you. I have two of these, but the other one's in the bedroom.
Does it work?
This one works. This one actually works. And by letting this work, we're talking about tombstones. What brand is this? Does it even say? I can't read.
I can't see it.
It is Magic Power Company. Okay, Magic Power Company, they do make a lot of motionette type things, props and stuff like this.
Is that just cardboard?
Yeah, that is cardboard in the back, and it is not in the best of shape. Cardboard backing. Batteries go here. I have two of these, and I acquired them from the next door neighbor. These I did not buy on my own. I have another one exactly like this sitting in the bedroom in there that I cannot get to work, and I really don't know why, because this seems to be in worse shape, I guess you could say, than that one, but I couldn't get that one to work. The bulldog is sleeping. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He is still not up. But
Be
this
lazy.
this ought to do it. I mean, this ought to do it.
We'll see.
We'll turn on the old switch here, and it's not quiet, and you can't turn it down.
Not a movement. The dog didn't budge. Is it motion activated, or you just turn it on and on?
I think you have an option. Because there's a button here too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a couple.
Oh my God. Okay, enough's enough.
I thought I shut it off. Okay, I have two of these. One works, one does not, and I don't know why the other one doesn't work. But I got this from next door. They give me so much stuff from next door because they got out of the Halloween decorating business after we did. We did it first, and then they took over, and then they got out of it. It's fun, but it ends up to be such a chore after a while. It goes from being something you're excited and having fun doing to it's a task that you almost begin to dread. And that's what happened here. I begin to dread it. It was more of a battle of the weather, the elements, just rain, snow, wind, cold, anything you can imagine. I only remember one particular Halloween when we really were geared up heavy duty, where the weather was nice all weekend long. We had that big crowd, had the hearse, and we had everything set up perfectly. That wasn't the last year we did it, but it was the most successful year because the weather was normal Halloween weather. It wasn't raining, it wasn't windy, it wasn't snowing. Everybody was having a good time. We had a lot of people there. It was a little chilly. But it was tolerable chilly. We knew. But yeah, it becomes something else. They had the same problem next door when they took over doing things. So much rain. And then if it ain't rain, it's windier than all get out at Halloween. It's always windy. Terrible time of year to have an outdoor type celebration thing.
I remember the one year it was snowing.
So it snowed all morning long.
And then that one year we had golf ball size hail.
We had to scrape ice off of the figures out. It was terrible. You can't have a good time. Weather ruins it every time. Every stinking time. Weather is terrible right now. I'm looking out way through the living room out to the kitchen, the front. I'm seeing it still snow. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still snowing. It's like what, 5-6 degrees? I don't know, 10? Or is it hot today? Is it 10?
It was 7 the last time I was in the kitchen.
Uh-oh, the bulldog is setting up. We've got to wrap this show up. He's going to come down here.
Are you going to do your cereals?
Oh, yeah, forgot about the cereal.
Then hurry it up.
Maybe I'll save the cereal for next time, okay? Because this show went long. And we'll save that for next time because Deza probably has more to say about. We bought.
She always wants the snacks.
Yeah, I put the one snack away because she wasn't here. But we did buy 2 new cereals this week. One of them's just Fruit Loops.
Well, don't talk about them if you're not going to do them.
Valentine's, but the SpongeBob one. So we'll show you that next week when we do the show with Deza. Hopefully back here, and hopefully the weather's better. I mean, I have to go out and shovel, and it's just terrible, guys. All right, so we'll see you next time on this. We just did the review show. I don't know how good it was, but Ghost Smith Chicken, and next week we're going to do a movie, but then the week after that we're going to review again probably. It'll probably be Monster Go Home because we got a few things to show you with that. Okay, see you next time on SpookShow Gravy Creature Features, even though there was no creature feature to feature in this creature feature. We just talked about one. Okay, ready? Do we wave?
I always wave.
Do it. I can't do a giant smile, but we can wave anyway. One finger missing.